I have had the privilege of watching some of the greatest footballers that you could ever imagine playing the sport. I've had the greatest privilege of watching them win trophies, playing the Champions League against top tier opposition in World Cups, and in some cases, no real tournament football whatsoever. Matt Letizia comes to mind, for example, a really great creative player who never made the step out of Southampton, never really competed in any kind of cup competition, never really had a chance of winning a Premier League. I wanted to go through some of my favourite players to watch over the course of my life. I wanted to talk about why I like them and maybe inspire people to go and look up these players and not just look up edits and clips and things like that, but go and watch them play in full games. Go and watch them play in full games. Go and watch them when they're on the ball, when they're not on the ball. And the reality is that if you want to learn how to analyze football, that's kind of how you do it. You watch players when they're seemingly doing nothing. So let's get into it. Number 10 is Robin van Persie. For a couple of years, he was probably the best striker in the world, particularly his sort of last season at Arsenal and his first season at Manchester United when he won the Premier League. Unbelievable technical player as well. Probably one of the best volleyers of the ball that you'll ever see. Dynamite left foot. Particularly, he impressed me when he first went to Arsenal and he was sort of playing off the left wing. Looked like an exciting young player. I never really thought that he would get to the heights that he did. But then, like I say, at Arsenal in his last season, he banged in 40 plus goals. At his first season at Manchester United, I think he scored over 35 whilst being injured. Just an unbelievable striker. His movement on and off the ball is incredible. You know, if you want a particular highlight to watch, go and watch the volley against Aston Villa, where Rooney picks him out. It's like a 30-yard pass up the pitch, picks out Van Persie, makes a diagonal run following the ball, perfect volley into the bottom corner, brilliant goal. There's also the header that he scored against Spain when Holland battered them. Unbelievable technique on that header. He gets an arch in his back to direct the ball exactly where he wants it to go. It's an unbelievable goal. Number 10, Robin van Persie. Number 9 is Eric Cantona, the bad boy of football, a genius player. He had creativity, he could score. He was an angry player as well. God damn, he was angry and so aggressive. We saw him do a flying kick on a bloody fan, for God's sakes. He was incredible. Just the chip goal that he scored, you know the one we're talking about, the one where he turns around, sort of looks around after he scores it. Just, I think, very misunderstood. Alex Ferguson obviously knew how to manage that sort of player, got the best out of him. He retired at 30 years old. He could have had another 5 years off of it easily. You know, he probably could have got another 10 if he decided to sit back in midfield or something. Just a genius player, technically unbelievable and so strong as well. People misunderstand Eric Cantona. They look at him and think that he was a small Frenchman. I think he was like 6'2" and he had this giant barrel chest. He was an unbelievable physique for the time. And yeah, he was the difference maker between Manchester United winning the first Premier League season and them not winning it. Obviously, they brought him in from Leeds when I believe Leeds were calling Manchester United to see whether they would sell Dennis Irwin to them. and they made inquiries going the opposite direction about Eric Cantona. Comes into Manchester United, and all of a sudden, Manchester United, that missing key link was just there from day one. Unbelievable player. Probably underrated in the realms of history, but definitely somebody you should go and check out. Number 9, Eric Cantona. Number 8, Luka Modric. Unbelievably underrated central midfielder. Kind of an old school central midfielder. Kind of sort of has the remnants of that still in his game. A box to box midfielder. A player you just cannot get the ball off of. The ball seems to stick to his feet. He's very intelligent. He can create and score. I remember when he was at Tottenham and they played him on the left wing. And look, he was a decent left winger, but he didn't have the pace for it. But he had the technical ability. And you know, there are some players who their technical ability is so good that even against players who are kind of physically a bit more dominant than they are, they can overcome that just by being so technically proficient that it just makes no difference to them. And Modric is one of those players. Obviously, he went from Tottenham to Real Madrid. I think a lot of people thought that he would be a flop. I certainly didn't think that he'd do particularly well there. I thought that Real Madrid would be a step too big for him. And what an idiot I turned out to be. I mean, the guy's had an unbelievable career. Champions Leagues after Champions Leagues after Champions Leagues. And he's still going now. He still has something to offer to the current Real Madrid team. Obviously, he's a lot older now. I'm sort of thinking about him in sort of 2008, sort of around that period of time. I think he was at Tottenham, and obviously he's had an excellent career off of it. Brilliant passer of the ball, just simple passes as well, like nothing decorative or fancy, just like when I watch him play, and obviously playing against sort of the Barcelona teams that kept possession and things like that, I just remember watching sort of Modric for most of the game, and he would always be the outball. He would always be the outball. And he would always find just the most simple pass for maybe a Toni Kroos, or maybe even like a Bale on the wing, or to get Benzema on his way, just to get the team moving again after not seeing the ball for maybe 5, 7, maybe even 10 minutes. But Modric, not only was he that sort of technically brilliant player, and still is, but God damn is he a hard-working boy. I mean, he's got legs that can go for years and years and years and years. Some of the players in this list, you'll notice that maybe they're not the most complete players, but they have one aspect of their game that I really, really appreciate. And for me, Luka Modric, I mean, he could have been like a Zidane. Like, I'm not working. No, you give me the ball, I'll create things and blah, blah, blah. He could have been a Pirlo. Oh yeah, I'll play the quarterback role, and when we get the ball back, I'll dictate play, but I'm not really going to do anything going backwards. I'll sort of sit in that line, but I'm not going to, put serious effort into actually getting the ball back. No, that's for those guys back there. Modric could have been that, but he's so hard-working for a player of his talent level. It's unbelievable to me. And he's done that regardless of who has managed him at Tottenham or Real Madrid. So number 8 is Luka Modric. And finally in this video, number 7 is Gareth Bale. And I am a big fan of counter-attacking football. I love 100-meter sprints, 200-meter sprints. I love quick action. I want to see it now. I want to see a team who gets dominated possession-wise sprint up that pitch and turn the game around. I love that stuff. And for that reason, I love players like Gareth Bale. His pace, is the stuff of dreams. He was so fast. He was so fast. I remember when he played for Tottenham, I remember he destroyed Maicon. That was the end of that guy's career. It was over within the space of 2 weeks. Then playing them at home and away, it was over. That was it. It was done. Gareth Bale, he didn't become what he could have become. I I was so looking forward to Gareth Bale being the next Cristiano Ronaldo. That seemed to be the kind of path that he was going down. Similar type of player, tall and built and strong and so fast and good technical ability. And he obviously didn't become that Cristiano Ronaldo like player, but he kind of became something else instead. He kind of became a player in his own right. And I think that one of the things about Gareth Bale is that his technical ability is probably very underrated. I mean, who's scoring that bicycle kick? Who else is scoring that? There's not many other players who are scoring that. There's not many other players who are even going to go for that. And Gareth Bale was one of those players. I remember he played for Wales during the Euro competitions that they would qualify for. And he was just he was a world-class player. There's no doubt about that. He was a world-class player. At one point, he was probably in the top 3, maybe 5 players in the world. And he was so exciting to watch. Just you pick up the ball and just sprint past that Copa del Rey goal against Barcelona, for God's sakes. You put that goal on backed by some trap music and it's like that's a complete video. It's done. You don't need to watch anything else after that. He's a very underrated player in the realms of history, in my opinion. I don't think that he was particularly treated well at Real Madrid, but then again, he was getting paid well, so you can't bitch and moan about that. Gareth Bale, it's unfortunate the reputation that he'll probably end up with in maybe 10 years' time. But he is in my top 10 favourite players of all time to watch. And he sits at number 7, Gareth Bale. Let me know in the comment section what you think of my 7 to 10 favourite players of all time to watch. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and have a great day.